This is Mike with CS Tactical. We're going to talk about cleaning a rifle. I'm going to go over some of the tools that we're going to use. This right here is a rod that is coated in plastic to protect the barrel as it's going down the tube. On the end of it, where you're going to use a brass jig, where we put the patch. That's one of the tools that we're going to be using. A bore guide to help, one, keep the liquid from going into the action and also preventing it from rubbing against the throat wrong. Then we're going to also use Kroil oil. We're going to use Barnes CR10, Shooter's Choice, brush, lube, and then this is going to be used to clean the throat. And I'm also going to use a bronze brush and a nylon brush. Get started. I'm going to use the bore guide, put it inside the chamber, again to protect the action and the bore. Then I'm going to take a wet patch, and then we're going to put some Shooter's Choice on it. Get it nice and wet. Then what we're going to do is just apply it through here. As we're going through, we're going to just fill it. We want it to be able to twist inside the barrel. And we can feel it as it's going through nice and tight. That means it's pushing out all that carbon and getting it wet. And then I'm just going to pull it right off. As you can see on the patch, it would be really dirty. I'm going to do that again to just kind of re-lube it again. And I'm going to do this 2 or 3 times. Just again to break up that carbon fouling. Now I'm going to grab a brush, the copper brush, and I'm going to place it on the head. And I'm going to put a little bit of Shooter's Choice on it. You can use whatever you prefer. I just use Shooter's Choice. And we're going to run it down the barrel again. And we're going to do this step, go back and forth 10 or 15 times. You might even want to do more, but I just do about 10 or 15. We just finished the brushing, and now I'm going to take a patch and apply it on here. We are going to wet the patch with Shooter's Choice and get the carbon out. And now our barrel is going to be starting to show a little bit cleaner here. Now we're going to be dry patching it. I'm going to stroke it back and forth just a few times as we go down the barrel, just to kind of get it dried out. And pull the rod back out. Now that I dried patched it, I'm going to go with the copper remover, which is this Barnes CR10. And what I'm going to be using on that is actually using a patch first. This is the Barnes CR10 copper remover. Pouring it on a patch. I'm going to go down the barrel a few times, getting it nice and wet in there. We do not want to leave this in there because there's ammonia in it. It will actually eat your barrel. As you can see, there's blue on this patch. That's indicating that there's copper buildup in the tube. We're going to try to remove all the copper out of that barrel to give it really good cleaning. We're going to continue that process. Again, I like to keep this rod dry. We're going to put another patch on and proceed forward with the CR10. And you do it as, just a few times. You don't want to do it too much because there's other steps that will help clean it out. Just go back and forth. As we already did some of the copper remover down there on one of the patches, we're going to do it again a few times just to get that copper remover in that barrel, soaking up into the copper, eating it out. We're just going to do it a few more times until I'm satisfied. Now after we've done the cleaning with the Barnes CR10 copper remover, we're going to move on to another step using the CR10, but this time we're going to use a nylon brush. This is just going to help break up the carbon that's in there and also the copper that's in there. You just put a little bit on here and it'll just drip down the nylon brushes. You don't want to get too much on. You've got to be careful because sometimes this stuff comes out fast. And now as we're going to be applying it here, and we're going to go down the barrel all the way down it and then back down. We're going to do this process about 10 times or so. Now after we just cleaned it with the brush, I'm going to remove it and I'm going to put the jig bag on and we're going to dry patch it. We want to get all that CR10 stuff out of there so that it doesn't continue eating the barrel. And just stroke it back and forth a few times. And we'll do that a few times with the patch. Now that we've dried it with a dry patch, now we're going to neutral.